We want to go by phone now to Democratic Congresswoman Judy Chu. She is joining us by phone from Capitol Hill. Ms. Chu represents the 27th District in California. That is right near San Bernardino. Ms. Chu, thanks for being with us. First of all, our condolences to the loss of your fellow citizens there in California. Your reaction?
I'm horrified by the senseless violence, and I'm even more horrified by the inaction that's taking place in Congress. This is the time to do something, to take strong actions to make sure this doesn't happen again. We are at the point where there is a mass shooting every day. In 2015, 355 mass shootings. This cannot be the future of America, and we have to stop this.
But how do you, as a Democrat, convince those on the other side of the aisle that your side is right and their side is wrong?
Well, I think that we have to have the voices of the American people expressing their outrage. We have common sense legislation that we are proposing. In fact, in just a few minutes, we will be voting on prohibiting those on no-fly lists from being able to acquire weapons. That is a common sense thing. And why not have those kinds of actions? Small steps indeed, but small steps that could prevent a death. And so the public needs to get involved and make sure that we do something about this. We can't have a future where everybody lives in fear.
Small step, yes. But yesterday, as you know, your colleagues in the House did not take that small step. So if not last night, when?
Then, we have to keep the pressure up. These mass murders are getting worse and worse. I can't believe that right after the Colorado shooting, we have this San Bernardino shooting, one right after the other. It cannot be normal for us to hear about mass shootings every single day. And I think that Americans will rise up and say enough is enough.
So I am going to ask a question that I asked our guest earlier this morning as we have been continuing this coverage nonstop since the shootings themselves. And that is, are you concerned that there are so many people with so many weapons in this country that regardless of what legislators do on Capitol Hill and in state houses across the country, America is so armed that anybody wanting to do harm can do so regardless of any laws in the books?
I am concerned about that, but there are successful programs such as the buyback program. When they had that in Los Angeles, I could not believe the numbers of people that turned in their weapons in order to get some sort of what I consider to be small incentive. I mean, it didn't take much for them to turn in their weapons. But besides that, we've got to start somewhere. We've got to make it a situation where it's more difficult to acquire a weapon. Right now, you could be severely mentally ill and acquire a weapon. You could be a terrorist and acquire a weapon. This is not right.
Ms. Chu, and I am going to preface this question by saying a very loud if, and that is if the suspects in this case were radicalized somewhere, anywhere, will you as a congressperson be more concerned about what happens overseas, and would that mean authorizing the president to put boots on the ground in places like Syria?
Well, that remains to be seen. I do take the threat of ISIS very seriously, but I think that we have to look at it step by step. I do think that having some sensible restrictions on the visa waiver program is certainly a good first step, but we have to see where we go from here. I think having a united response with all our countries working together is the most important direction that we can go in.
Representative Judy Chu joining us by phone from Capitol Hill.